As much as you might like to be, we can't all be Jim Butcher, and not every urban fantasy is going to be the Dresden Files. But you can sure give it a good run. Hello everyone, welcome to the Book Cafe, where we review fiction, talk fantasy, and interview industry professionals. Thank you for bearing with me on my short hiatus, and it is good to be back. So today we're going to be reviewing a book that is an interesting blend of urban and high fantasy. K.D. Edwards' The Last Sun. And yes, that's a pun in the title. The Last Sun is set in a world in which, sometime in the 1970s or 1980s, Atlantis, a society of mages, revealed itself to the world with a world war that utterly destroyed the island and left patches of magically polluted area all over the world. The Atlanteans all moved to Nantucket, building up a new nation called New Atlantis that runs primarily on magic and the power of the noble houses. Now, each house has a different throne and rules over a different aspect of Atlantean society. Rune St. John is the last scion of the Sun Throne, after his family was destroyed a decade and a half earlier, for reasons he has yet to understand. Now, he's in his late 20s, selling his services as an extremely powerful mercenary, and occasionally unskilled detective. When a younger scion of one of the royal houses goes missing, Rune is contracted to find the man, as well as to stop whatever person or creature kidnapped him. So The Last Sun is, like I said in the cold open, a weird blend of high fantasy and urban fantasy. It's set in the modern... So you have things like cell phones, guns, helicopters, but it's also set inside an entirely magical society. So it's completely normal for the entire island to be saturated in magic. Dragons are operating openly alongside Apache gunships. And it's a weird contrast to try and wrap your head around at first. But once you've been reading it for a bit, you get used to it, and it's pulled off rather well. The author does have a tendency to over-describe a repeating event multiple times, like watching an entire transformation sequence in an anime. It gets old after about the third, and by the 15th, you sort of skip over it. The way the magic is described is appropriately visceral. You could really feel it. There is one big thing that gets to me about this book, is that all of the characters are written in the same voice. So while they're all different characters, with very different motivations, very different whatever, sometimes it can be kind of annoying because while they're not interchangeable, the way they sound sort of is. On the other hand, this is the second fantasy novel that I can remember reading where the main character and main love interest are gay men, so if that's something that you're looking for, you should be made aware that pretty much everyone in this book is some variety of not straight, which makes for some hilarious relationship dynamics between the main character and his love interests. But overall, there's really only a couple of things about this book that stand out to me. The first is the setting, which is unique in a way I haven't seen before. And the second is the representation. Other than that, this book isn't particularly good, it's not particularly bad, it's not particularly special in any sense. So I would rate this buy it used, but it's new enough that I don't think it's available used. So maybe get it as an ebook. Have you read The Last Sun? Do you disagree with me? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to show it by clicking the like button. Click here on the dragon to subscribe, or here for more videos like this from the Book Cafe. We've received a couple of requests directly from authors to review those books, so I'll be doing a couple of those before the end of July. But I will see you all next week, and until then, read good fantasy.